was a queer, sultry summer, the summer they electrocuted the Rosenbergs, and I didn't know what I was doing in New York. The idea of being electrocuted makes me sick, and that's all there was to read about in the papers. It had nothing to do with me, but I couldn't help wondering what it would be like being burned alive all along your nerves. I was supposed to be having the time of my life. Everybody would think I must be having a real whirl. A girl from some out-of-the-way town ends up steering in New York like her own private car. Only I wasn't steering anything, not even myself. I guess I should have been excited the way that most other girls were, but I couldn't get myself to react. I felt very still and very empty, the way the eye of a tornado must feel, moving dully along the middle of a surrounding hullabaloo.
Why are you sweating over that? You know old JC won't care if the story's in tomorrow or Monday.
You think so?
JC's ugly as sin. I bet that old husband of hers turns out all the lights before he gets near her. Or he'd puke otherwise.
I guess Doreen was one of my troubles. I've never known a girl like her before. She singled me out right away, made me feel like I was much sharper than the other girls, and she was really wonderfully funny. I like my boss, JC, a lot, in spite of what Doreen said. I tried to imagine JC in bed with her fat husband, but I just couldn't. I always had a terribly hard time trying to imagine people in bed together. I think Buddy Willard wants to marry me.
Well, what's the problem? He's handsome enough and going to be a doctor.
I don't know. He's almost fully recovered from his tuberculosis, and he has all these plans for when he's healthy again. I couldn't marry him. He's always patronizing me for wanting to write poetry.
Well, I know this great guy Callie might like.
The truth is, I don't know if I want to get married at all. Buddy once told me that after I had children, I would feel differently. I wouldn't want to write poetry anymore. So I began to think, maybe it was true. When you were married and had children, it was like being brainwashed. And afterward, you went about numb, as a slave in some private totalitarian state.
Have you ever had an affair?
What do you mean by an affair?
You know. Have you ever been in bed with anyone?
Well, yes, I have.
Think Buddy has?
I think so.
Tell me about yours. I pretended to stay calm as Doreen told me about her affair. After that, something in me just froze up. I need to lose my virginity. It was my last night. I had just received a rejection letter from the writing class I was going to take when I got back to Boston. Now I will have to spend the whole summer with my mother. I guess I will start writing my novel. At first, I felt hopeful. I decided I would put off my novel until I had gone to Europe and had a lover. Then plan after plan started leaping through my head like a family of scatty rabbits. I saw the years of my life spaced along a road in the form of telephone poles, threaded together by wires. I counted 1, 2, 3, 19 poles, and then the wires dangled into space, and try as I would, I couldn't see a single pole beyond the 19th. That morning I tried to hang myself. The trouble was, our house had the wrong kind of ceilings, low without a wood beam in sight. Each time I would get the cord so tight, I could feel a rushing in my ears and a flush of blood in my face. I saw that my body had all sorts of little tricks, which would save it, time and again. I would simply have to ambush it, or it would trap me in its stupid cage of 50 years. And when people found out my mind had gone, they would persuade my mother to put me into an asylum, where I could be cured.
Only my case was uncurable.